Hello, everyone. My name is Ted Schachter. I am a professor of marketing communications at the Fashion Institute of Technology, although this video and its opinions are not affiliated at all with FIT or any of its employees. Before I worked at FIT, I was in marketing communications. And then my mother, about a few years ago, I found out my mother had Alzheimer's, dementia, and we found a place for her to be taken care of where she could reside in Connecticut, and that place was Sunrise of Stamford, Connecticut. During her stay, she was allegedly, and I have to put in the word allegedly because my attorneys requested me to do so. She was allegedly hurt during her stay over there. And I have a case in federal court in Connecticut against Sunrise and many of its entities. Now, I had to get that out of the way, but that is not the reason why I'm making these videos. During her lawsuit, I did a lot of research because a lot of things came up. So this introduction video is about all the things you're going to learn as you follow me and as you get more and more involved in these videos. You will see that there is a third part of the healthcare system that no one discusses. And it is only through happenstance that I tripped over it during this lawsuit. And I spent over 1,000 hours learning more and more about it. So when somebody discusses healthcare, whether it's a political person, an elected official, someone running for office, layman on the street, what do they talk about? Health insurance, right? President Obama created the Affordable Care Act to provide every American with affordable or access to health insurance. Senator Sanders, running in his campaign for president, he was discussing Medicare for all, which is also health insurance. A second component of it is pharma, right? Pharmaceuticals. And I think that all among us can identify, first of all, the drugs they're taking, and they can definitely identify who their insurance company is, with all the frustrations that come with both these entities. But one of the things that no one discusses, and it's actually crucial to our healthcare system, is real estate. That's right, real estate. It turns out that a handful of real estate companies called real estate REITs, that's real estate investment trusts, they own a lot of these care places. They own nursing homes, they own assisted living facilities, they own hospitals, they own medical office buildings. And it is the fact that they are in the shadows, in the background of healthcare, that no one pays attention. We get mad at the hospital for not having enough beds, or we get mad at the emergency room for keeping us waiting for 8, 9, 15 hours. But it is these REITs, these healthcare REITs, who actually control the funding, and they make the demands for how much profit each one of these categories of healthcare real estate properties that they own generate. Now, the largest of these healthcare REITs is a company called Welltower, okay? And it was during this lawsuit research process, which you will hear me mention often, that I discovered this law called RIDEA, RIDEA. And it stands for Real Estate Investment Divestment Empowerment Act. Now, here's what happened. In 2007, if we remember correctly, there was a big problem with real estate, right? The prices were bottomed, and we had all those mortgage defaults, and it was a mess. We all remember that mess. And what happened was that these real estate companies decided that they wanted to inflate the price of real estate. And the only way to do that is by making their real estate holdings worth more. So Congress in 2007, now this was a bipartisan law. It was sponsored by Joseph Crowley of New York, a Democrat, in the House, and it was sponsored by Orrin Hatch, a Republican, in the Senate, and it was signed by President Bush into law. And I'm going to be doing a very detailed video on RIDEA, because this law called RIDEA, which no one discusses, and even doing my research process, and I spoke to people in finance, in real estate, all over the place. No one knows anything about it. But if we read the annual report of companies like Welltower, which is by far the largest, the second one being Ventas, okay, you will see that it says that they operate under a RIDEA structure. So what is this RIDEA structure? Very simply put, this RIDEA structure allows them to benefit in profit sharing from the activities that take place, which are resident fees and services in these, let's say, assisted living facilities. Okay, so when it comes to assisted living facilities, they participate in the fees and services that residents pay. Interesting, right? Now, here's something else that's interesting. This law was modeled after the lodging industry. So, as ridiculous as this sounds, we're going to be doing a very in-depth RIDEA video, because it's important to understand that RIDEA is at the core of what has detrimentally affected our healthcare system, the real estate for our healthcare system. So it doesn't matter if we have all the best insurance in the world, if the doctors at the hospital aren't in sufficient numbers for them to take care of us. It doesn't matter how much we pay per month to have our loved ones cared for if there's no one to care for them because of budgetary restraints and budgetary constraints. So this whole RIDEA thing is based on one thing: profit maximization by real estate investment trust companies, of which Welltower is by far the largest. All right. So you'll hear me mention Welltower. And the reason I'm mentioning Welltower is they happen to own Sunrise. Now, the interesting part is that they'll deny it, but it says so right there in their annual report that they own Sunrise. Welltower owns Sunrise. I apologize for that. I don't know how to edit videos, and all my videos are going to be live and have that raw quality to them, because no editing skills here. Okay, so why am I doing this? What is the objective for all this? The objective for this is based on one simple fact. Our government has let us down. Our federal government created the law of RIDEA without any kind of protection for our senior citizens, our people, our loved ones who are affected with dementia and Alzheimer's, vulnerable people. There's very, very few people in society who are more vulnerable than elderly people, and elderly people with dementia especially. Children, animals, there are very few groups in society of living things that are much more vulnerable, okay? So then we have state governments. When was the last time you heard someone close a facility? They don't get closed. They get nominal slap on the wrists. And then what do we have to do? So our government let us down at the federal level. Our government let us down at the state level. Government agencies that are designed and instituted to protect us have let us down. There are no raids of nursing homes by departments of health or Department of Protection for the Elderly. They don't do these massive raids and surprise, undercover people who are saying, "Oh my God, look what you did. People going to go to jail." No one goes to jail. These people by the thousands, and I'm going to provide the statistics in future videos. This is just an introductory video. By the thousands, elderly people being hurt are not tragedies, they're statistics at this point. Now, we feel it as an individual when it happens to someone in our family that we love, but that's all it is. It's a case by case basis. So, effectively, companies like Welltower, their business model, which hinges on negligence, if we look at the statistics, you can't reduce costs that much and not think that people are going to get hurt. Negligence is what they hide behind because negligence is a civil matter, right? And who's got hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to court? And their lawyers are good. Their lawyers are good. And you'll be amazed at what they said in court. That's in later videos. So, and I'll provide transcript links. You'll love everything you're going to hear. And by love, I mean you're going to be shocked about everything you're going to hear. So government has let us down. It costs tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in money and hundreds, if not thousands of hours to sue, not to mention the emotional toll that it takes on people. Who's got that kind of time? So effectively, there is no punishment. There is no district attorney out there pressing charges on these companies. There isn't. No CEO is going to jail. No executive director goes to jail. We just have to lick our wounds and go forth and live our lives without any kind of vindication. So this healthcare system is based on pharma. And I'm not here to debate the positives, negatives, pricing. It's outside the scope. I don't even know enough. But I do know one thing in theory, at least pharma companies do at least develop drugs, right? Let's just call that in the good column. And insurance companies, whether we love them or not, they do pay for some of the care we receive. We may not like how much, we may not like all the aggravation sometimes we have to go through for them to pay, but at least they bring something to the table. We don't have to agree with it. Again, I'm not here to defend them. I'm not here to attack them. But what do healthcare REITs provide? They'll say that we give capital. They're like loan sharks. They give you a loan, and then they will spend the rest of your real estate's life trying to squeeze more and more profit out of you without adding anything of quality. So why isn't the government providing us that health care? Why isn't our government protecting its citizens? That's you, okay? Why isn't the government protecting the population? That's also you. Why isn't the government protecting your loved ones? Again, this is what these videos are going to be about. So I'm going to take on each topic one at a time. And my goal is very simple. As a professor, which I mentioned to you I am in the beginning of this, my goal is to do one thing. I want to educate people so they can understand what's going on in the world. And if they choose to rally against changing these laws, petitioning their district attorneys to do more than just stand on the sideline, and to say that, hey, one or two negligence cases is civil, but when you have hundreds of them or thousands of them, that's planned negligence. That is deliberate. That is your business practice. And you are going to be held criminally accountable for that business practice. Okay? So we need people to possibly do that. I'm going to leave it up to you. So this is an introduction video. So if this were my class, I would say that what I'm looking for as far as outcomes, right, is an educated person. I want you to be more educated about something you never thought you needed to be educated about. Real estate investment trust companies is a factor, major factor in how you are being cared for. That's right. So I want to thank you very much. I hope that you indulge the rawness of my video. I hope that you will visit the website. It should be up and live by tomorrow. putting this together basically within the last few days. Okay. And all my friends whom I've been able to help are all quarantined. The other thing I say is please stay healthy. Please stay well. Wear a mask. But most importantly, please absorb what I'm trying to teach you, and what I'm trying to expose, and let's build a constituency together, because it is up to us to protect ourselves. The government isn't doing it. The government isn't doing it. The police aren't doing it. The agencies aren't doing it. We need to force them to do it. But the only way we can do that is to 100%. We need to be educated. So my 1,000 hours or so of education and research is yours in these videos. I'm going to post another one tomorrow, and I want to thank you very much for watching. God bless you.